Hi everyone, and welcome to the latest episode in the Phase 3 Meet series. This week, I'm delighted to be joined by Chris Richards, who is the Regional President over at Unit 4 for the UK and Ireland, and obviously Unit 4 are a Phase 3 partner. Hi Chris, how you doing?
Hey, Assad, great. Thanks, great to be here. Thanks for having me.
Thank you very much for accepting. I'm looking forward to speaking with you and going through a number of different questions and exciting questions and learning a little bit more about you, Chris.
Sounds good. Sounds good.
So
Not too difficult questions, though, Assad.
Some of them might be. We'll find out, won't we?
Oh, no,
We'll find out.
No, you promised me they wouldn't be.
Yeah, I've just changed all the questions. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. We're going to start how we always start and just ask you to explain a little bit about Unit 4.
So Unit 4 are over a 40-year-old business providing ERP solutions to people-based organizations, and I'll explain that a little bit more. So when I talk about ERP, we provide finance, procurement, HR, payroll solutions, so back office functions, to mainly four industry verticals, industry sectors. So we have a huge presence in public sector. So that's local government, central gov, less so NHS. We have a very big presence in education, higher education specifically, and also not-for-profit. And then within the commercial sector, very much focused on project-based organizations, so professional services, consultancy services-based organizations. And we've been doing that for, as I said, just over 40 years now. So huge amount of experience and an amazing customer base.
That's fantastic, and thank you for that. And do you know what? I'm going to be honest, I didn't even know 40 years that you guys had existed for 40 years. I know it was a long time. I didn't know it was 40 years.
Yeah. I mean, I haven't been there 40 years. I'm far too young.
And you know what? That's really interesting, because the 40 years and not everyone knowing that, like I didn't know, I think it's quite easy to get pigeonholed sometimes into what people think you provide as be it a software business or a professional services business. I know in our example at Phase 3, we speak to a lot of people and they still think, oh, do you provide HR systems consultancy? Which we do, of course, but obviously alongside finance and managed payrolls, etc. So I know a lot of people probably won't know that Unit 4 have a very strong presence in the kind of HR and talent space as well, and capabilities around that. Could you just perhaps provide a quick overview of the kind of capabilities you have in HR and talent as well?
Yeah, it's interesting actually, because I mean, I remember before I joined Unit 4, I had a perception of Unit 4, and one was of legacy, I suppose, because they've got Coda and they've got, Aggresso Business World as was, and then obviously we launched ERPX, which is the most modern, and enterprise application platform, really, not just ERP. And one of the things I didn't know before I joined Unit 4, and when I got here, and a lot of our customers and people don't appreciate, is that we do have a significant capability around HR, talent, and payroll. And not only that, but it's all within a single platform, so a single database. So it's not multiple products joined together. It is from a HR, finance, procurement, payroll perspective, it is within a single database, single platform, which, as we know, has significant benefits to our customers. And then we acquired Intuo, I think it was just the year I joined, actually, 2019, which we fully integrated into that suite now, which gives us a considerable breadth of capability around performance management and learn. So yeah, and people know us for finance,
exactly,
because of the previous acquisitions, and we're very, very strong in finance. But people don't realize we've also got the ERPX, which is the modern platform, plus the broader capability of HR and payroll too.
Well, you know what? I'm sure that a lot of the viewers of this video would be interested to know that, because like I say, there's so much that you guys do that I don't think a lot of customers will know obviously, but a lot of other people who are potentially looking at an ERP solution probably may not know. So thank you for explaining that. We're going to come back to Unit 4 a little bit about terms of where you're heading and stuff like that. But I really want to explore your kind of journey as well, because obviously you're a very high kind of senior leader at Unit 4. So what does your journey look like, Chris, in terms of, how you've got to where you are today?
It's funny, isn't it? Because you never really set out to plan to get to. I mean, well, I didn't. I mean, maybe some people do.
Did you never want to be the regional director at
I want to be
Unit 4 when
CEO.
you were
I
a
want to be
kid?
this. I want to be this. No. Yeah, exactly. It's funny, isn't it? So when I graduated, I did a degree in business studies. I actually started off and I wanted to be an accountant. So funny, I ended up in
Okay.
finance ERP. So there's some level of connection there. I was in software sales for sort of 10, 15 years, selling multiple of solutions, worked for Software AG for many years as a sales director, which is when I got into managing people. I suppose one of the things I'm probably most proud of in my career was my stint at Morgan Stanley. So when
Okay.
I was when I was selling software for, as I said, for many years, and then I was selling to Morgan Stanley, and then they said, would you like to come in and work in our product management team to
Wow.
basically help sell our own internal technical services to the business? And I was like, um, I'm a salesperson. I'm not really very technical. And they were like, no, but exactly what we need. We need somebody who understands the business, understands technical, but can go and work and deliver value and the business case for them to basically adopt and implement all of these great solutions. So I that was probably one of my proudest moments, because Morgan Stanley were one of the most toughest organizations I've ever had to sell to. And I did a number of
Right.
deals with them. And then I went to work for them, and it was an incredible experience. And it was amazing being on the other side of the fence. So, I was then talking to prospective suppliers and working with lots of different organizations who were trying to sell to Morgan Stanley. And that was that changed my
Wow.
whole perspective of selling.
Okay.
And I managed a small team there. And then, as somebody who I'd worked with multiple times asked me to come to Software AG to manage a team there. And that's when I went into first time into sales management. And then I realized, I'd sort of come home because I got more
Mhm.
pleasure out of seeing my team being successful and winning
Yeah.
business than I ever did as a salesperson, interestingly. And that's when I knew that, definitely leadership and managing people was what
Yeah.
was made me happiest, I suppose, in terms of my career. And then I became the MD for the Software AG business, which was a fantastic organization. Then I took a step back. I had a baby quite late on in there. I was a mum late on in life, and then I took a step back and went to Workday. And Workday was a fantastic organization, but that was where I really got introduced into true cloud
Yeah.
native SaaS, and how that's different, and the contractual and the service and all of that great stuff I learned at Workday. And then and actually, without that experience at Workday, I don't think I would have then got the opportunity to become the regional president at Unit 4, because that's
Yeah.
obviously the journey they were heading in. But again, the opportunity to go to Unit 4 was the same person who took me to Software AG. So, one of
You've
those
got a
things
fan
of
there, haven't you? Clearly.
yeah, I have. But it just shows your network is those
Oh, key
people
crucial. Yeah.
those people you meet throughout your career. You never know. I always say to people, you never know who you're going to sell to, work with, or partner with. Always treat
Yeah.
people
Yeah.
with respect, and and have integrity. And that's boded really well for me, because you always get the imposter syndrome when you start in a role, and you're like, oh my goodness, am I able to do this? And I certainly felt that when I joined Unit 4, because it was a big role. But yeah, quite a varied. But I never sort of set out to think, oh, it was, and particularly sales management wasn't something I thought I would want to do. I didn't want to be a
Mhm.
spreadsheet jockey.
Yeah. Yeah.
You've got to be able to impact and drive change. And I've unfortunately been able to do that significantly at Unit 4.
That's fantastic. It's a great journey, and it's interesting. Mainly, I think perhaps because I'm also from a sales background myself. It's amazing the amount of people you speak to who have come from some form of BD or sales
Yeah,
background to kind of senior leadership positions.
yeah.
Do you think there's anything in that that kind of teaches you any particular kind of skills or?
I think so. I think, you know, if you've got, well, one, you've got to be good at listening and communicating.
Yeah,
But I think, you know, people will only buy things if you're genuinely going to drive change for that organization, drive
yeah,
cost efficient or whatever it is. So I think, you know, when you then get into a leadership position, everything you do is about, you know, what's the impact? So what? You know, I always say to my guys when they're talking to, well, so what? Why does the customer care about that? You know, what does it
yeah,
actually mean?
yeah.
So yeah, it's because we're just awesome at that.
You're
That's what
just
it is.
awesome people. Yeah, I was hoping you'd say that. I was hoping you'd say that. You touched upon your stint at Morgan Stanley and how that
Yeah.
was a big achievement for you. Would you say that has been your biggest career achievement to date? Looking back, I mean, maybe it's kind of perhaps age related or kind of, you know, don't know how you would kind of measure success or achievement, I suppose.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I know. I suppose, you know, it was probably the most surprising achievement, if that makes sense.
Okay.
Because, you know, I love selling. Sales management was always a natural progression. But to then go client side for an organization as prestigious I mean, I used to say they hire the most smartest, cleverest
Yeah.
people I've ever worked with. God knows, honestly, why they hired me. But honestly, they did. And I think for me, you know, I'm very proud of my position at Unit 4, but that was almost a natural progression, sales leadership,
Yeah.
country management within a very sales driven organization. I always thought I would end my career at Morgan Stanley. I didn't think I'd ever leave. It was only, you know, purely because of, again, my network and my connections. So yeah, I probably am most proud of that because it's very different. If you look at any salesperson's CV or anyone who's got to a position, they've either started off client side and maybe gone in, but to flip from one to the other,
Yeah.
it's quite unusual, particularly as I said for an organisation, you know, with the, you know, such as Morgan Stanley.
Oh, that's fantastic. And does Mike know you're coming for his position next?
Yeah, he does know.
Well, he will do now.
He will do now.
He will
Thanks,
do now.
Mike. Succession planning.
Brilliant. And then back onto Unit 4. What can people expect to see from Unit 4 moving forward? Perhaps the next kind of 12 months, 24 months. Do you have any kind of serious product development plans in place?
Yeah, I mean, there's a significant amount of activity around ERPX, as you know, and we should be seeing some more successful go lives in the next 3 to 4 months, which is really exciting. Huge amount of investment, particularly. I mean, as I talked about, you know, ERPX isn't just functionally ERP. From, you know, it is a platform. So continuing to really build out the extensibility of ERPX, so integrations, you know, ERP never stands alone with, you know, in an organization, it's always connected to lots of other different systems. So really working to improve the coexistence and integration with other platforms. Big investment around the HR side of things, you know,
Yep.
the user interface, usability of all of that, which is really exciting. Um, yeah, I think, you know, again, all around ERPX, all around the extensibility, and also some good new functional stuff coming out, particularly around projects and around HR.
Fantastic. Well, I know we as a partner are looking forward to helping you obviously
Yes, so are
achieve
we.
what you want to achieve in terms of the next kind of 12, 24 months onwards. And it does sound like an exciting time over at
Yeah,
Unit 4.
very
So
exciting, very
but
exciting.
we're going to move on to the quick fire round
Oh,
now.
okay.
We are indeed. And I'm going to start off nice and easy for you, actually. What's the best piece of advice you've ever been given?
My God.
I thought it was
Um,
easy anyway.
yeah, best piece of advice. Gosh, I think be true to yourself. Always go with your gut feeling. Be
That's
true
a
to
good one.
yourself.
Do you know what? Whenever I step away from my gut,
Yeah,
something goes wrong.
yeah,
And you think it's time, maybe your gut's not right. You know, you have those
yeah,
doubts as well,
yeah,
don't you,
yeah.
sometimes? Of
Completely.
course you do. But 9 times out of 10, when I make any decision, personal or work related, that I've stepped away from my gut feeling, it goes wrong.
You've got to be true to yourself.
Yeah.
You've got to look yourself in the mirror and be true to yourself, no matter what else. Yeah. So that's pretty important to me. Integrity.
Oh, key.
Yeah.
Okay, next one. If you could eliminate one thing from your daily routine, what would it be?
God. Daily routine. Probably chasing my son to get his breakfast eaten so I can get him ready for school. Hurry up!
Oh, we've all been there, Chris.
Hurry up! We've got 5 minutes, and then rushing back for my first call. So I think wish I could speed that all up and make that less stressful. Will be nice.
I think you'll have a few fans with that one. Yeah, me included, certainly. Okay, who's your favorite superhero?
Oh, it's got to be Superman.
Yes, love it.
He's the best.
Love it. I love it. You know, kids get my kids and people I know kind of get involved in these. Oh, who'd win in a fight? You know, Batman or Superman or Spider-Man or Superman. I'm like, Superman's the king.
Superman's the king.
He's the Don.
I have that conversation practically daily with my 6-year-old. Mum, who's the strongest? I've said, I'm not having this conversation. It's Superman. He was born that way.
Yeah. And people throw kryptonite at you. I said, I've got to care less about kryptonite. He'll find a way. He'll find a way. Okay, next one. Nice, easy one for you now, Chris.
Yeah.
Coffee or tea?
Tea.
Yes, love it. Like, everyone answers coffee. And I'm like, no, it's got to be tea.
Cup of tea, yeah, cup of tea, yeah. No, 100%.
Brewski, can you? All day long.
Nice builder's tea, you know. That's
builder's tea, all day.
No sugar, no sugar.
Well, I have honey in mine.
Oh, it's a bit posh.
I can't have, I don't know. I'm just trying to replace the sugar, to be honest.
Yeah, that's true.
A touch healthier. But
no sugar.
Okay. Final question for you. A little birdie tells me you are a Everton fan.
I am a big Everton fan.
So my question is going to be, what do you think of Sean Dyche?
I really like Sean Dyche, actually, to be honest. I like his style. And I will absolutely love him if he keeps us in the Premiership this season.
Ooh,
because we are looking, it's very, very scary, especially at a draw with Palace at the weekend. Yeah, I mean, I like him. I like his style. But, you know, we've had more managers than I've had cups of tea at this rate, you know. So, but yeah, everyone keep their fingers crossed for Everton staying in the Premiership.
He's a nice guy. I'd always kind of picture him as an Everton manager.
He's quite,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean by that. I mean, he came from Burnley and he did really good job with Burnley. Obviously got them in the Premiership twice, I think, didn't he, and kept them up there.
Yeah.
I like his style. I think he works hard. He's quite gritty, and I think it's well, as you said, what Everton needs. But fundamentally, we've got problems, as you know, probably with our board and all those sorts of things. So just got to keep us up. We cannot go down. I'll be devastated.
You'll stay up.
Oh, thank you.
I'll
say Assad said.
Yeah, you know, Assad knows what he's talking about, clearly. Assad's
what team?
I'm a United fan.
Oh, so you were happy then with the penalties?
I mean, look, penalties, aren't they? Anything can happen, but
great penalties though. What a shootout!
Do you know what? We take 2 steps forward and kind of 1 back. Overall, looking at our season objectively, it's been okay. Progress.
Yeah, well, he's done a good job, hasn't he? I think Eric, whatever his name is, but I think it's an all Manchester FA Cup final.
Yeah. So I don't know when this video is going out, but I might be celebrating or I might be commiserating. One of the two by the time that happens. But no, thank you so much for your time, Chris. Honestly, it really is a pleasure to speak to you. If any of the viewers out there are looking at ERP, get onto Unit4, have a look at their website, email, call, speak to the people, get a demo, see what it can do. If you're looking at any consultancy around Unit4 or looking at selecting, anything like that, speak to Phase 3. We can assist you. Do get in touch with us. And yes, thank you again, Chris. Really appreciate your time.
Thank you.
And look forward to seeing you again soon.
Great to talk to you. Thanks, Assad.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.